to make it to this point. They've done it through energy and confidence. Gabby Stephen told me it'll be the key in a semifinal as stacked as this one.
Michigan State certainly with some unfinished business yet. They want more. We're gonna find out who's going to that final. Coming up, rotation 1, right around the corner. 6 athletes per event. Top 5 scores count. You can drop that low. We saw in that first semifinal, that was key. We had some mistakes, so teams dropped that score. Here's another interesting thing, 6 judges per event here in the NCAA finals. That makes it a lot harder to get those big scores. Of course, we got the stream team commentary on ESPN+, some of the best in the business. Kennedy and Anastasia there in the foreground. They will be covering Michigan State and Utah. Bridget Sloan and Trinity Thomas in the back there. They will have LSU and UCLA. By the way, 17 national titles by our stream team. That is quite impressive. Michigan State, they are going to start here on the vault. You see our score tower on the right shows each team's lineup for this first rotation and each rotation thereafter. Here is Michaela Tucker.
She is known to stick this vault under-rotated.
And Michigan State stuck 3 out of 6 vaults at the regional final. So impressive.
Here's Lexi Zeiss leading off for the defending champs, the LSU Tigers. Defense run starts now.
Head coach Jay Clark told me that their warm-up on this event right here was the best he's ever seen it. It was so good it made him nervous. He wants them to save that for the competition.
And an athlete like Lexi is just so dependable. She has been rock solid, even though she's a freshman, with getting those landings. Wow, they're looking loose already, guys.
Utah in their 43rd consecutive. They've been in every NCAA championship that's ever existed. What a streak to carry with you. Emily Morgan will be the gymnast to lead things off on the balance beam.
What's really impressed me in talking to this Utah program is their approach with the meet. They're not afraid to say that they want to win a national championship title.
Caitlin Rosen for UCLA gets them started on an event they are known for. Tremendous floor team are the UCLA Bruins. Currently tied for #1 in the country on that event with the Oklahoma Sooners.
Really strong triple series on the left-hand side of your screen from Emily Morgan. Quick adjustment on the connection.
It will be interesting to see if the judges give Amelie Morgan that connection. She dipped her shoulder. Judges don't want to see any hesitation. Could risk not getting that 10-0 start value if they're going to be picky today.
Amelie is the regional beam co-champion. She's so strong, but really across the board, all of these teams have struggled with landings. And these are individuals that we've seen stick throughout the season. So that tells me there's a little bit of nerves here.
Yeah, they were tight. That first semifinal, we all agreed, they started tight, and for some of them kind of carried that tension with them throughout, and understandably so. Got to be in the top 2, can't afford mistakes if you want to give yourself a shot of winning the national title on Saturday.
Kate's been in and out of lineups. She's been very loud about her struggles and her journey this year, trying to rebuild her confidence, but she's coming back at the right time, and coaches say she's become an incredible leader because everyone's seen the work she's put in behind closed doors.
Amy Doyle, the second Spartan here on the vault. 9.825, good first score up on vault. This has been a tough event to score on.
Wow. I was going to say, I love the block that she gets off the table. She keeps her elbows so straight. So impressive. Really curious what the judges will do with that. I didn't see a deduction. If they want it, we've seen them be picky today. Maybe they could take a distance deduction.
Or how about the squat on the landing? Do you think, was it too deep, Allie?
I think that was perfect in terms of the depth of the landing.
Looked pretty good. Lexi Zeiss, did she just lead off that bar rotation with a 9-9? Oh. Yes, she did. Here's Ashley Cowan.
And Ashley, that first release move and then right away connected down to the low bar. So massive. That's still on the low bar, the shoot over is the only skill that you're going to see. It can be horizontal because it was connected immediately.
couple hits for the Tigers. McKenna Smith now in the second spot. Emily Morgan a 9.75 in the first semifinal. If you're watching those scores in the 9.7s, those are the ones that keep you out of the NCAA finals. You can't count those. Florida ended up counting a couple of those on vault, and that hurt them down the stretch. So keep an eye on that. You want to count scores in the mid 9.8s to 9.9. Scoring's a little tougher here. We got those 6 judges. Scoring's tougher, but you know, mid 9.8s, 9.9s are going to help you out a lot. Msu McGowan, the second gymnast for UCLA on floor. 9.8, 6.25 for Rosen in the leadoff spot.
Well, John, it's only the first event. The 9.7s aren't a big deal now, but it puts so much pressure on the last event typically that you don't want to do that to yourself. You want to create the easiest path to the final.
And Msu McGowan on floor. UCLA calls them natty landings, short for national championship landings, just like that. They show good control, don't move the front foot, exactly like Msu did.
McKenna, good stick off the end. They're hoping that becomes a contagious landing for them on beam. Msu actually wasn't originally slated to be in this lineup. She had a back flare-up and hasn't had the training that she's been wanting, but really showed up in the practices.
Nicely done from McGowan. Amy Doyle, a 9.9125 for that vault. That's the highest score in this entire championship so far, as we see Olivia Zarmani in the 3 spot.
Hop forward like we've seen, but this Michigan State team is dangerous on vault. They are known to stick a plethora of landings on this rotation. It's just a matter of who's going to get the job done today.
And if you can string some sticks together on vault based on what we saw in that semifinal, you have put yourself in an incredible spot. They got 3 yet to go on vault. We'll see what they do. Maybe the best freshman in the country. I don't think you can even debate it this year. Kaylin Chio for LSU on bars.
And Kaylin got a 9.95 at SEC Championships on this event right here. This release move coming up is so unique. Only one in the entire competition doing it. Catches the bar with elbows completely straight. Oh, think they're gonna take 1/10 off. Had 2 slight movements of the feet. Think half a tenth each.
Yeah, the coaches say that whenever she makes mistakes, it's because she's trying to be too perfect.
Back over to the balance beam. Here's Grace McCallum. Taylor?
At the beginning of this rotation, Sam, you mentioned that Utah's approach to their goal of winning a national title was a little different this year. Head coach Carly Doggendorf told us we're not making it a taboo topic in the locker room anymore. And I asked Grace McCallum how she felt about that. She said, I've always resonated with that. She said, growing up, I always spoke it into existence that I wanted to compete in the Olympics. Some people maybe thought it was a big goal, but to me, it made it more attainable, something the Utes are definitely tapping into.
Seeing a few wobbles from Grace McCallum. I love the aggressive approach, and I want to see a little bit more of an aggressive approach on her beam routine here. That's when I noticed that she does her best.
Emma Malabuyo for UCLA follows a 9.85 for Msu McGowan.
And Grace McCallum usually does the triple wolf turn on beam into a double wolf turn, but coaches said sometimes when you're on podium, the beam can be very slippery, so she made that adjustment quickly.
Well, she got the job done. She made the beam routine. It's not going to be her highest beam score, but to get through beam with all hits, I think is important at this stage in the competition. UCLA's coach, Janelle McDonald, said that, you know, this is a really competitive meet, so the message to the team is to be aggressive and attack the routines.
Nikki Smith on vault, Michigan State.
Oh, man, she has has stuck so many. She actually has stuck 5 of 12 vaults this season. So really going for that landing, and that's where we saw the mistakes show up.
I love that floor routine. That's one of my favorites for Emma Malabuyo.
Having fun.
This hips open on the double pike. In the slow-mo, we can see some flex feet. Judges don't get the slow-mo, so they might not have seen that. Well done.
I love that. Right when she landed, looked over to her team, all on the side there, playing to them. Having a good time. Zarmani a 9.8625 for Michigan State on that last vault. Grace McCallum a 9.8125. Now here's Avery Neff. We talked about great freshmen. Kaylin Chio certainly set a standard there, but Avery Neff, she is right up there. Hadn't gotten injured, she'd be in that same conversation. Aaliyah Finnegan, right hand of your screen for LSU.
Aaliyah taking it one skill at a time. Sometimes on the podium, the bars are bouncier, so you have to be patient and adjust your timing for each skill. Going to do a full-in dismount.
Avery on the left-hand side of your screen. She said that sometimes she does get nervous, but honestly, when she competes, it doesn't look like she's nervous at all. She just goes into attack mode. She said specifically before beam, she wants someone to ask her a would you rather question. And I asked her what some of the examples, and she was like, you know, would you rather eat a hot dog or a hamburger? And that's to help her not overthink. So whatever the would you rather question was for this beam routine, it worked because that was phenomenal.
Every event, I mean, she's got it all. Mentally, she seems like she's a steel trap.
Yeah.
And athletically, she has got the gymnastics to hang with absolutely anybody. Veteran for the UCLA Bruins. Really a fan favorite, I think, across the country as well. Here's Shea Campbell.
Now, first tumbling pass, so controlled on that landing. Layout position and then tucks her legs. It's so much better than most.
Gabby Stevens, left hand of your screen, following a 9.725 from Nikki Smith. They really want to hit a couple big ones here at the end.
She scored a perfect 10 on this vault earlier this year. Overshoots it with the step forward. Again, clean positioning that we're seeing from a lot of these vaults here today. Just can't find the landings.
And that's the tough part about vault. That vault was basically perfect from board to mat. But that step, probably, we've seen that be a 210 step throughout this competition, which means that's a 9.8. That's tough, unforgiving event.
But they have broken a 9.9 on that event, which we did not see much of earlier in today's competition.
Yep.
Now, true gymnastics fans might notice that this is Shea Campbell's sophomore year floor routine. And she wanted to do this because this is the year that they didn't make NCAAs, so she didn't get to compete this routine at an NCAAs. And Allie, you know how tough this is. This will be her 4th different routine in 5 weeks.
Amazing. Love it. And she loves it too. Cami Winger for Utah follows Avery Neff's 9.9125. Oh!
Sam,
first big break.
The same thing happened at regionals as well. She's supposed to do back handspring layout, and she added in a back handspring like she did, but she stayed on the beam at regionals, and I actually thought she meant to do that, but was very off, and unfortunately today was even more off than at regionals, and 0.5 of a point for that fall. And may not actually get a 10-0 start. At regionals, she had a 9.8 start, so she's gonna have to add in another skill.
Connor McLean, right hand of your screen, one of the best, not just in collegiate gymnastics, but in the world on this event. Execution sets the standard.
Looks like Connor caught that release move a little bit too close. What's really interesting to me and surprising is Connor's ranked 15th in the country on this event, and I say that because I think with handstands like that, she's one of the best bar workers in the world. That just shows the level of talent and depth here at this NCAA collegiate gymnastics level.
Yeah, that always surprises me too, because I really think the way she executes bars is as good as anybody.
Yeah, Allie, you mentioned it. I saw the same thing. It looked like she clipped her feet, which would have been a bigger deduction. It's still going to be a significant deduction because of how close she caught. But guys, you know this better than anyone, that the strength she had to have to push her face away from the bar and keep the rhythm going is impressive.
I mean, it's amazing the strength you can garner when you have to push your face away from the bar coming in. That was impressive. Way to minimize the deductions as we see Sage Kellerman. I know you love this vault, Sam. Allie, you as well.
Look at how high she gets. And every time, it doesn't matter if it's on podium, if there's pressure, if there's no pressure, she sticks it like that. She's money. The expressiveness, the emotion, the passion in this routine, it is just such a work of art, so beautiful.
Left hand of your screen, junior Anna Paderariu for Utah. She has been second in the world on balance beam in 2018, and now here she is in a huge spot for Utah, following Cammie Winger's 8.975.
Wolf turn, this is the skill that teammate Grace McCallum had a little bit of a wobble on. I think it's one of the most difficult skills to start off a routine, especially when you have some nerves. Transferred from UCLA.
Haley Bryant, defending all-around champion at these NCAA championships, finishes things off for LSU on bars.
Haley doing a good job of keeping her body tight, trying to hold those handstand positions. Judges want to see you stretch all the way from your shoulders, all the way up to your fingertips.
I hope your eyes can watch two things at once, because Haley Bryant on bars and then Anna Paderariu absolutely crushing this beam routine with so much pressure. The hop on the dismount was really the biggest deduction that I saw, but I think they're in the clear so far after this first event.
Yeah, great beam rotation. And Anna, for longtime gymnastics fans, that sheep jump reminds me of the 2003 era of gymnastics, and I love it. Big risk, completely losing sight of the beam.
I did a sheep jump, Allie, and I'm a little younger than that, okay? 2008 era over here.
Well, we have a new leader on the floor exercise. It's Brooklyn Moore, is 9.9625. Keep in mind, the top score from both of these semifinal sessions on each event in the all-around is your NCAA champion. And look who is up, none other than Olympic champion Jordan Childs. And man, she can perform this event. Kaya Forbes for UNC, left hand of your screen, competing as an individual.
Very clean, Yurchenko full.
Jordan Childs has scored 6 perfect 10s on this event.
Olympic team member Jocelyn Robertson for Arkansas, left hand of your screen, competing the all-around. How about that, though, that floor routine?
Jordan Childs is a blast to watch. I love the choreography. The tumbling is high, effortless.
Jocelyn's been one of the top tier freshmen in the country that I've been so excited to watch. And this event here, I think, is her specialty. She really works beam like she's on the floor. She looks so comfortable up there, has great awareness. She's able to adjust quickly, and there's no seemingly nervous attitude about the way that she works beam.
Jade Carey, right hand of your screen, competing for Oregon State as an individual. Reminder, the teams have qualified, but there's also some individuals who qualified from regionals if they had top scores in the individual events and the all-around. So they are competing alongside some of the teams. So that's why you see Jocelyn Robertson, left hand of your screen, Jade Carey, right hand of your screen.
Two stuck landings from two incredible Olympic team members. Man.
Defeated in the all-around this season, has not lost, putting that on the line tonight, trying to win her first ever NCAA all-around championship. As we now move over to floor exercise, this is Maya Lazan from Cal. Cal was the 6th ranked team coming out of the regular season. Most people thought they would be here at these NCAA championships as a team. Finished 2nd last year. Unfortunately, that regional competition, such a tough gauntlet to go down. Any team at any moment can be on the outside looking in. Unfortunately, that was the case for Cal.
Yeah, that was Alabama that upset them, John.
Sam, same pass that we saw from Brooklyn Morris and same one that Jordan Bowers does.
And you know what? That was great too. These athletes are just really doing picture-perfect gymnastics tonight. Her form when she twists and throughout this entire floor routine is so beautiful. I told her yesterday how stunning of a gymnast she is to watch.
And watch the difference in the height between the flip right here and the double twist. I'd love to see that front tug higher than the front double twist. And what I love about it is you can see the UCLA gymnasts cheering for Maya Lazan. These athletes are here without their team, and so to have the support is really special.
We're going to see some of those individual scores coming in. But in the meantime, what a rotation for the UCLA Bruins. And I do believe Taylor Davis has got the head coach, Janelle McDonald. Taylor?
I sure do. Thank you, John. Coach, we're accustomed to a floor party from the Bruins. In an environment like this with such a stacked semifinal, how important was that start?
That was a really important start for us. You know, we wanted to come out there, put on a show, and really focus on landings and clean execution. I feel like they did that beautifully, so we checked the box. We got to get 3 more solid events.
How can that translate over to vault?
Yeah, you know, we just need to be really aggressive what we do, but really present. And I thought they did exactly that on floor, and so we just got to translate that over to vault to get those landings nice and clean.
Okay. On to the next. Thanks for the time.
You bet. Go Bruins.
So UCLA doing what they do. Their best event, they're #1 in the country, tied for the #1 spot on that event. So you kind of expect them to come out strong, and they did. Our individuals for that last rotation, we finished off with Jade Carey and Jocelyn Robertson. They put up a couple 9.9s. Maya Lazan as well, finishing up on floor exercise. So some big scores from those individuals. Well, the top individual in the country last year was Haley Bryant from LSU. She helped them win the team title as well. And I tell you what, nobody has had a reputation like Haley Bryant.
Haley Bryant has changed the school completely.
She is the model of what we want our culture to look like.
On vault, Sam looked outstanding.
They looked incredible. They had 2 stuck landings. Amy Doyle started off that stick, and it was incredible. Head coach Mike Rose said she's such a perfectionist. She wants to stick it 100% of the time, and he's laughing because he goes, "You're not going to be able to do that. Let's be real." But she stuck it when it counted most. And Sage Kellerman actually sticks this 100% of the time, almost. but look how high.
It's all that matters here. They advance. UCLA led by that 9-9+ from Moores. And here is your stream team. Some of the best in the business. Kennedy Baker, Anastasia Webb, they're covering Michigan State and Utah. Bridget Sloan, Trinity Thomas, they are covering LSU and UCLA. You can listen to them all and watch them on ESPN+. Put them on, put us on at the same time, and it's nirvana is what it is. So UCLA goes to vault now, guys. They come off that big floor rotation, but now they are on vault. This is where scores have gone down, and this not a great event for UCLA. Can they hold that lead?
Lee starting things off with a Yurchenko full, and she really sticks that most of the time. Able to get the job done again tonight.
And that Yurchenko falls out of a 9.95. Will be interesting to see what type of score that gets. Should be close to a 9.95.
Amy Doyle, we saw that big vault here. She is on bars.
And Amy Doyle starting off with a pike Jaeger. Most gymnasts straddle their feet. And the pike Jaeger is riskier and harder because you risk hitting your feet on the bar. You've got to rotate so much faster.
Wow. Perfectly placed. Your giant full on top of the bar, and they stuck their first dismount.
In the regional final, Michigan State stuck 4 out of 6 of their bar dismounts, which could really make the difference today.
Sierra Ballard leads things off for LSU here on balance beam, but tremendous lead off on beam. Spent most of her career in this spot, and that is because she is so reliable in this important lineup position, getting things started on the toughest event.
I think most coaches would agree that the #1 ingredient on beam is to be aggressive. And I don't know if there's a beam worker out there that is more aggressive than Sierra Ballard.
Ashley Glenn leading things off for Utah on floor. They currently sit in the 4th spot.
Last year at the national championship final, Sierra Ballard opened up on this event and got a 9.95 in the leadoff spot. It was the 2nd highest score on beam of the day.
She's a veteran and has brought so much to this team. Coaches call her the fire starter, so what better way than to be a leadoff on one of the hardest events, especially mentally. If she can get this stick, that will be huge, putting LSU in the right spot on balance beam.
I love the fierceness when Sierra sticks that. That's also a newer dismount for her this season, but love the look on her face, how pumped up she is. Ashley on that last tumbling pass, she was probably 15 degrees too far over. Won't be a big deduction, but those half attempts here and there are really going to make a big difference.
Look at her feet when she comes over the top. Her right front foot, her heel is completely off. So she essentially landed that with 1 foot. Unfortunately, doesn't get bonus points for that, but man, that's impressive.
And made it look smooth as well. Riley Jenkins, a freshman now, follows Emily Lee's a 9.85. That's a good score on a 9.95 start from what we've seen in this competition.
Yurchenko 1.5. Newer to this lineup. I like how stretched her hips are in the air, but again, these athletes are really trying to hone in on these landings.
Michaela Tucker in the 2 spot here. Doyle a 9.8625. She's having herself a meet here early.
Michaela Tucker keeping her body so stretched. A little bit short on that handstand position. Judges allow for a 10-degree window. Have a 10 pop on that landing.
I call that landing happy feet, where you want to stick so bad, but the feet just, they're so excited they have to move, and unfortunately that's going to be a deduction, so the judges don't think it's.
Watch her shoulder position. Body comes above horizontal, then right into that handstand in the low bar.
She's so tall too that her long lines are so beautiful, but her handstands are a little bit more pronounced, so she has to get her hips flat because she can't really hide it very well.
Ella Zerbis, the 2nd gymnast here. Ashley Glenn, a good start, 9.8375. Keep in mind, Utah 0.175 behind Michigan State for the 2nd spot. There you go, Sierra Ballard. Another 9-9 in the leadoff spot for LSU. Kylie Cohen follows her left hand of your screen.
That is clutch. Getting LSU started. I think this is good practice for a team that wants to win the national championship, because if you qualify to the final, you have got to start with a 9-8, 7-5 or better, in my opinion, if you want a chance to win the title.
Well, the math got readjusted, so Sierra Ballard did not quite get that 9-9, 9-8, 7-5. There's a judge or two in there that gave her a 9-9, however.
Kylie's just a sophomore. She's new to the beam lineup this year, and the coaches just speak volumes of her improvement from last year to this year. The intentionality in her training, and it's really showed up in critical moments to have the confidence on balance beam. Let's see if they can go 2 for 2.
Oh.
Thought she was gonna hang on to it a little longer.
And out on floor, that was a superb floor routine. Stuck her first pass, didn't even have to lunge out of it, and the last tumbling pass was very well controlled. They're gonna be thrilled with that.
Tomorrow night on ESPN, the NBA play-in tournament rolls on with the Western Conference 8th place game between the Mavs and the Grizzlies. Coverage of this one begins at 9:30 Eastern time. The winner gets to play the Thunder in the first round. Brooklyn Moore's lights out in that first rotation on the floor exercise, trying to build on the 9-8 from Jenkins right before her.
She's had a very consistent presence on this event. You can see with her upper body, the hollow shape she made. She was working so hard, but couldn't get her chest up quick enough to hold on to the landing.
Gabby Stevens now the third gymnast to go 9-8, 1-2-5 for Tucker right before her.
If you notice in the beginning of her routine, Gabrielle Steven always looks up at the bar, and I asked her about it while she's waiting there to go, and she said she's actually afraid of bars. I said, well, I was too. You would never be able to know watching this routine. She usually sticks this. Excellent.
It's funny you say that, because their head coaches, Mike Rowe right there, said she came in hating beam, but he was under the impression she actually kind of liked it now.
I can understand hating beam. That's a tough one. Kaylin Chio, she seems to love beam, because every time she goes, she absolutely lights out, is the freshman. She is third up for LSU.
John, she does love beam. She also loves competing in NCAA. She told me the competitions in Elite really helped her to learn how to compete in autopilot. She said, if I overanalyze, that's when things go sideways. I've watched her down here by the corral. She never watches the athlete directly in front of her. She steps to the side, collects herself. A lot of mental sets. You can see that autopilot really kicking in.
I mean, what a dream, Taylor, to have an athlete, a freshman, to coach that already knows what it takes to compete at their best.
And Sam, also what an incredible freshman to have on floor, Avery Neff. These two freshmen on your screen right here are phenomenal, and they've had an incredible year.
Yeah, both junior national champions. And as a level 10, their senior year, a lot of people looked at them as maybe the two best seniors coming out of high school, and here they are, both on your screen at the same time, two of the best freshmen you will see in all of college gymnastics.
Kaylin finishing 1.5. Man, that was smooth. She made SEC history when she set the record for the most SEC Freshman of the Week honors in a single season, taking 9 out of the 11 awards.
Avery Neff looks very calm, and she's genuinely having such a good time. Yeah, she's on fire tonight.
What's impressive, too, about her is not just the gymnastics, but head coach Carly Dockendorf said she's been an excellent vocal leader, and she's just a freshman.
Mika Webster-Longan now for UCLA, 9-8 for Brooklyn Moore. As you can see, the scores tougher to come by. Big numbers for UCLA on floor, but not as big here, but that is typical for most teams other than Michigan State, that first rotation.
She did the same thing in warm-ups.
Oh, wow.
Hope she's okay.
That was really scary. It's really important to land with bent knees, so something like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, hope she's okay.
Wow. Quickly over to Olivia Zarmani for Michigan State.
Wow. Nice handstand. Oh, they are just cruising with those sticks on bars, and they've had a couple on vault.
And look at that, Gabrielle Steven, 9.9375. Armani's score is going to be right up there as well. Kaylin Chio, a 9.875 for her. That's lower than she's used to seeing. He rarely gets below that 9.9 number on any event. Connor McLean, though, she can set a standard here on beam like she can on the uneven bars.
Every single skill she does in this beam routine is textbook. Her leaps are oversplit. If you just took a photo in the middle of her leap, it is picture perfect.
And what's important about beam is keeping a rhythm. Connor McLean told me she counts 1, 2 in between each skills. Was actually a little bit off on that crooked, but is still gonna get that connection.
Yeah, she's so good at adjusting. And what's special is when she adjusts, her form does not change. So you can't even tell that she's crooked.
Right hand of your screen is Jaylene Gilstrap. And I don't know where Taylor Davis is right now, but I can promise you she's got a smile on her face. Not supposed to play favorites, but I know she loves this one.
Connor's keeping that good rhythm Ali was just talking about. She is so smooth. Her arm positions are perfectly placed. And beam is just looking so easy for LSU. Big hugs from beam coach Ashley Knott, 17-time All-American from LSU.
It does look easy for LSU, but they have not broken a 9.9 yet, Sam. They're still looking for their first 9.9 plus score.
Yeah.
And remember, they were in 3rd place after that first rotation, so they've got some work to do to get into the top 2.
Exquisite routine for Jaylene on floor.
Her routine is just such a breath of fresh air. It's so nice. You can't watch it without smiling.
Little Billy Joel, Piano Man, Sam.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You're a little too young for the Piano Man, I think. I think I have it on DVD, on CD. Do you have a CD still? Or is that?
I have it on VHS.
Cassette tape.
Now you're lying. Avery Neff right before Jaylene Gilstrap got a 9.875, matching Kaylin Chio's 9.875. Connor McLean gets the first 9.9 plus for LSU on beam. Delaney Harkness now up for Michigan State. Look at them, though.
Wow.
9.925 for Zarmani.
Great handstand on the top of the bar. Michigan State just looking so calm and confident.
They're in attack mode, double layout.
Loved the body position in the air, but almost looked like she pulled in a little bit too much and then over-rotated it. But the body position was consistent throughout.
That was going to be another 9.9 and just overdid that double layout.
But good distance away from the bar on that Ginger release move. Straight back up to that handstand, and she even held it for an extra second.
Little close to the bar there. Would have loved to have seen her keep her elbow straight and let go just a moment too early.
Ginger release move. You can see just how high she gets above the bar, and it's perfectly placed. You want to catch it with your arms straight out in front of you. She does a really nice job of that.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle that landing. It felt like a 2/10 deduction, which means that would not be higher than a 9.8. McKenna Smith follows Gilstrap's 9.925, so a couple of 9.9s now for Utah here in this rotation. Again, 4th place after the last rotation. Can they make a move? Shay Campbell now on vault. She has got a big Yurchenko full, and she is known for just nailing this landing.
One of the best in NCAA. She has so much hang time, and you could just see her flare out, and her eyes are watching the floor for seconds before her feet hit the ground. That's what UCLA needed to do.
That's a 9.95 start, and the score should be a 9.95. It won't be, but it should be.
I agree with you completely. It reminds me of the '92 Olympic gymnastics era, the way that she flared out, had so much time to spot that landing. I give it a 9.95.
Little pressure on Haley Bryant now. Only 199 score for LSU. 2 gymnasts to go. You've got Michigan State putting up 9.9s. You've got Utah putting up 9.9s on floor. LSU needs to answer.
And if you want someone to be able to answer that call, Haley Bryant's your girl. Honda Award winner, AAI Award winner. I mean, there's no award she hasn't won yet. This is her victory lap.
McKenna Smith on floor. That last tumbling pass is so unique. That front 1.5 into that back layout step out. Stunning.
You know, Haley had that injury, that elbow injury early in the season, which she didn't get back into the all-around for a while. And the one thing that she looks great, but the one thing I haven't seen as good as in the past is stuck landings. And I just wonder, is that the numbers game, or is it just by chance and she'll bring them here? But that is the thing I'd like to see from Haley Bryant today.
Little slide with the feet together, and adjustment on that front toss. So it's not, to your point, John, the best we've ever seen. But if there's a day where you want your best to show up, it's on an NCAA final.
Got to get there, though, Sam. Got to get there. Sage Kellerman, 9.95 on vault. Here she is anchoring this bar rotation. That's been outstanding as well.
Sage Kellerman is tied 12th in the country on this event right here. Saw her earlier stick her vault. Hoping to do the same on this dismount right here.
Wow. That patience. She didn't rush her chest on the landing. She just let it soak into the mat.
Michigan State is not playing. And Jordan Chiles, she doesn't play either.
Played around with a couple different vaults, but I think this is the safer choice for her. She lands it pretty consistently, just like that almost every time.
Shea Campbell got a 9.9. Should have been a 9.95. I've made that clear. Jordan Chiles finished off that rotation for them. Still waiting for that Kellerman score. Haley Bryant, a 9.875. Aaliyah Finnegan in the anchor spot. She's familiar with that. Olympic silver medalist Grace McCallum now follows a pair of 9.9 plus scores. There's already 3 of them for Utah. Utah making a big move, potentially a huge move, depending on what McCallum can do right here.
Last time Grace competed, she scored a 9.975. This is by far the best year of her entire career.
Aaliyah Finnegan, left hand of your screen in the anchor spot, needs a big one here. Again, it's only coming up on the halfway point of the meet, but you don't want to put the pressure on those last few events if you're the defending champ, and that looks like what they're doing.
Back handspring layout, beautiful triple series and strong, quick adjustment at her finish. If you're Aaliyah Finnegan, I would replay that moment of clinching the title last year, because there was so much pressure on the line, more than I imagine any other meet. You can handle any moment from there. I think that's why she never looks phased on this event.
Utah finishing strong on floor.
Oh, wow. She looks surprised by that.
You guys look surprised. I'm surprised.
Her face is surprised. It didn't look that crooked going into it.
With beam, it happens so fast. You dip your shoulder or just place your foot down just a millisecond in the wrong spot, you're off the beam.
Or you just have a wrong thought, right? You're thinking about just the dismount left and you're not staying present in the moment. There's a million different things, Allie, to your point, that can go wrong in the slightest split second. Front aerial, her chest just is so delayed, and her right side of the body, her right arm gets stuck and can't pull it all the way up to vertical to keep her on the beam. Shocking.
it's devastating when that happens, because I imagine right when she took off for that front layout, she could feel it was off, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
And so now they're going to count that Kylie Cohen 9.8. So really, if you look at it, that fall from Aaliyah Finnegan probably cost their team maybe a 10th or so. So not catastrophic, but you don't want to give up those 10ths. Michigan, Sophia Diaz, she's a sensational gymnast. Love watching her.
Yeah, she's been incredible to watch. Unfortunately, couldn't get her chest up enough to find the landing, but you can see how dynamic that is. It's going to be incredible to watch for years to come.
Michigan State is going to move ahead of UCLA, by the way, after that tremendous bar rotation. Here's Jocelyn Robertson. Sam, you said she's known for being, but I'd argue maybe she's known for this event. She is sky high, especially on this first pass.
All right, she's an all-arounder. She's great at...
Now, and the craziest part is this is a watered-down routine for Jocelyn. Jocelyn told me that she's thinking about training for LA 2028. I'm very excited to hear that.
Yeah, no surprises there, considering how well she's been doing this year. She continues to be on the rise.
Step out is so unique. Most gymnasts do front tuck. She does it in a layout position. Makes it much harder.
And Mike drops it. As a freshman, first time at NCAA championships, she's doing a great job.
Here is Jade Carey, competing in the all-around like Jocelyn Robertson. Started off the competition well on the uneven bars, trying to give herself a chance to stay undefeated in the all-around here in 20. Take it away, Taylor.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, John. Coach, a huge bar rotation to put your team in the lead. What have you seen from your group through two?
Details today. They came in locked in, but calm, reserved. We were just trying to get through everything in warm-ups and no surprises or whatever. And they came out here just with focused mental attitude. And like I said, locked in. They've been just... We love those landings. We love those landings.
We love those landings too. In a semifinal as stacked as this field is, what's it going to take to close this thing out?
We just got to keep our heads on, one rotation at a time, one event, one athlete at a time, doing exactly what we're doing. I mean, that's all we can do, and I think that keeps them more in their zone without distraction.
It's been fun to watch so far. Best luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
John.
I love it, Taylor. Obviously a great coach doing amazing things, but here he is leading the semifinal. It's almost like an out-of-body experience for Mike Rowe, but he is doing a tremendous job halfway through the competition, and as of right now, they are in 2 events to go.
Well, they said the mindset coming in is trying not to draw attention to how big the moment is, and whatever they're doing, John, focusing on the landings, staying present, not thinking about how big it is, it's working.
Jade Carey had that Tokyo 2020 water bottle I noticed right there. Maybe some good luck. Didn't she win a floor gold right there? I think she did. She won a floor gold. Here are your scores. So Jade Carey, 9.95 for that beam routine. Jocelyn Robertson, 9.9. A couple of 9.7s there at the top for Maddie Jones and Sophia Diaz. Halfway through, so many great athletes in women's